Hello, good morning. I'm Lisa from Mythical Witchery. Welcome to my channel, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Well, it's been a hot minute since I did a video, and I do apologize for that. Life has kept me a little bit occupied lately. But today I wanted to share something really special with you, and it's something that I've been looking forward to since early last year. The creator of some of my very favorite decks, Stephanie Burrows from Three Trees Tarot here in the UK, is about to launch pre-orders for her latest indie deck. Stephanie, along with the talented artist Adam Ohlers, have created numerous incredible decks together, including Oak Ash and Thorn, Smoke Ash and Embers, and my personal favorites, the Heartwood Tarot and Thistledown Oracle. This deck, The Winding, goes on pre-order next week on the 2nd of March for £40.50 for early birds for the full month of March, and then £47.75 from April. She expects to have the deck shipped by late April or early May of this year, so that's going to be really exciting because we won't have long to wait at all. One of the most impressive features of Stephanie's decks is her commitment to the environment. All of her decks are printed on eco-friendly, carbon-balanced 400 GSM cardstock with vegetable-based inks. Even the packaging is made with recycled materials and is fully recyclable. Because of her commitment to the environment, Stephanie doesn't create printed guidebooks, but she does include cards with the meanings and a complete PDF guidebook with expanded meanings. Now, this deck is a little different from the others in that it's black and white, created with pen and ink. The cards are standard tarot size, measuring 70 by 120 millimeters, or approximately 2.75 inches by 4.73 inches. They're going to have white borders and rounded corners. Now, this is a prototype deck, so the corners are not rounded. Some of the cards are not fully laminated because she made some changes and then had them reprinted in order to send out the prototypes. So these will not look exactly like the finished cards will look, but that's okay because it's going to give us a really great idea of what the cards look like. So that's all of the details out of the way. We're going to have a look at this deck in a second. I'm including a content warning at the beginning of the video, but I do need to mention that the main character of this deck is an adorable little jumping spider, which Stephanie chose for its courage, curiosity, and inquisitive nature. Now, I just need to say, on a personal level, I am horribly afraid of spiders. It goes back to my childhood. But yes, I'm definitely an arachnophobe. But jumping spiders are really cute. And I mean, let's face it, these aren't real spiders. These are cards with pictures of spiders, and so I'm able to get past my horrible fear. And I hope you can too if you're afraid of spiders, and just really enjoy this deck. For those familiar with Stephanie's other decks, The Winding picks up where the Heartwood Tarot leaves off and follows the story of that same tiny spider that we saw in both the Heartwood and in Thistledown, who lives in an old wooden shed at the back of the Heartwood property. Stephanie says, leaving this known place behind, they venture into the forest and onward toward the nearest village. For a spider, the world can be a dangerous place because, well, they're just a little spider. That alone makes them vulnerable to all sorts of threats, such as accidentally or even purposely being squished. And yes, there's an innocence to this deck in that our spider doesn't even see that the dangers exist. Their winding path mirrors the way many of us learn to move through the world, slowly, sometimes uncertain, but always forward. This deck is about exploration and courage. It's about moving gently and continuing on, even when the path feels uncertain. So let's have a look here. So she includes a little, this is from one of her other decks. This, I believe, is Smoke, Ash, and Embers. And then this little card here, she says recycling tips. So this is really amazing because even the packaging in here is designed to be fully recyclable. She sends a little paper bag because there's crinkly paper here, and this can cause problems sometimes at recycling centers. So she includes this little paper bag that you can put that paper in and then add that to your recycling. I know that maybe recycling isn't a big deal in some places, but here in the UK, we recycle almost everything. And it's really important to me, and I really appreciate this, that Stephanie does this. So let's just dig in here. Now the cards are going to come in a rigid 2-piece box. Her first decks came in tuck boxes, but more recently she's redesigned the boxes, and they're also made of fully recyclable materials. But because they're actually rigid boxes, they're a little bit easier to open, for one. And also, I think it's just nicer. Well, I'm not a fan of tuck boxes, but rigid boxes are great. So these are the cards. Now, again, this is a prototype. So this is not exactly what they're going to be like. They're going to have rounded corners. They're going to be fully laminated, and they will come in a rigid box, as I said. We'll just open this up. She will include certificates of authenticity to help people so that they're not buying counterfeit decks. Counterfeit decks is a huge issue in the tarot community, and it's becoming a bigger issue all the time. I know of some pretty major deck creators who are getting out of the business because of counterfeit decks. And it's because people are buying them, right? If people didn't buy them, counterfeiters wouldn't make them, but they do. Anyway, that's a whole other topic. Let's just enjoy these cards. Open this up here. So there'll be cards to protect the deck in shipping. I'll just show you this first. These are the cards that she includes that have the meanings on them. So they're two-sided. So on each card, you'll have like the wands, the pentacles, and then flip it over and you've got the swords and the cups. And then, of course, the major arcana on the first side. You've got the Fool through the Wheel of Fortune, and then Justice to the World. And then also cards for the extra, or a card showing all of the meanings for the extra cards. In the first printing of the deck, there will be 7 additional cards, so sort of like Oracle style cards, and we'll have a look at those when we get to them. I'm just going to put that aside for a second, but keep it handy. There's a card to protect the deck on each side. Stephanie's contact information. Here's a look at the backs. Now these are fully reversible, which is really, really great for those that read reversals. You can see that little guy here in the corner. Isn't that cute? Okay. So I'm going to zoom in the camera so we can have a nice close look at all of these cards, and we'll go through them one by one. I'm really excited. I hope you're excited too. Okay, so we're back. So this first card here is one of the 7 Oracle cards that are included with this deck. This one is called Dawn, and it shows the little shed that our cute little spider lives in on the property of the Heartwood. So that is that. And the description of this is dawn offers a wider view, a shed resting quietly at the edge of the old Heartwood property, still and waiting in the early light. Our spider hasn't appeared just yet, but the story is ready to begin. The next oracle card, so it looks like this just kind of gives an introduction to the deck as well, so we understand the whole story, which is really cool. The next card is examination. Examination draws us closer to the doorway of the shed, where the first steps of the journey are about to begin. Soon the Fool will take their first brave step into the world. And then, I love how she did that. And then, of course, we've got our little Fool. Look at him there under the leaves. Oh my God, he's absolutely adorable. Now I've done a recording showing the guidebook. So I will, hopefully I remember, and I will include that in the video. But I just wanted to give you a brief kind of reading from the digital guidebook to give you an idea of how that differs from the cards themselves. So on these little cards for the Fool, she's got wonderment, idealism, and possibility. And in the digital guidebook, it says, let me just scroll in a bit here, or zoom in so I can read that a bit better. These aging eyes of mine. Okay, artwork description. Beneath the shelter of a leaf, the Fool rests in quiet contemplation, gazing at a gentle stream of light pouring into the garden shed, illuminating the only sanctuary they have ever called home. The sunbeam beckons them to come out and play, promising bright discoveries beyond familiar walls. Our Fool begins to wonder what to do next. So there is our little Fool. And gosh, he's cute. And here he is again in the Magician. And the description of this card is, our Fool has stepped beyond the comfort of the cozy leaf, taking their first tentative steps into unfamiliar territory. Amid the scattered debris on the floor, they find a weathered scrap of paper bearing precise sketches of the minor arcana symbols: a wand, a cup, a sword, and a pentacle. The unexpected find offers guidance, revealing that every tool needed for their journey ahead is already within reach. And then we've got the High Priestess. Before an open doorway, our Fool sits, staring out into the overwhelming brightness beyond. The High Priestess, symbolized by scattered pomegranate seeds, gently encourages the spider to look inward, reminding them to trust their inner compass to chart a path through the unknown. A little bit of a close-up there so we can see our little spider. And we've got the Empress. Really love this in black and white. It's really effective. And for the Empress, she says, sorry, give me a second to get this screen a little bit. There we go. Sorry. Having left the familiar shelter of the garden shed, the Fool takes a brief rest on a cushion of soft, velvety moss. Above the pretty petals of an overhanging flower, the Empress, form a protective umbrella against the falling rain, offering comfort to our little traveler. Then we have the Emperor. Our little spider darts for shelter, weaving through thick undergrowth until it finds a cluster of mossy stones on the forest floor. It huddles beneath the weathered rocks, pressed close to the cool earth as the winds howl overhead. A lone stone at the back stands firm against the stormy chaos, bearing a carved ram's head, guiding those in need of protection to safety. The Hierophant. We come across a large wooden directional arrow firmly nailed to a tree trunk covered in wild vines and flowers. Our little fool, still attached to a silky thread, moves along its surface. The weathered sign points the way, marking a clear path ahead, but where to? It raises the question, should they follow the arrow's aim or forge a new path forward? There's our little wee spider there. And next we've got the Lovers. Perched on a broad leaf, our fool basks in the brilliant sunlight filtering from above. A luminous dandelion catches their attention, its delicate form glowing softly in the shimmering rays. Transfixed by this simple beauty, they feel the world grow still around them. Oh my gosh, the story is really brilliant. You know, this almost here, that's, okay, so that's a dandelion, but at first glance, it almost looked like it was a little fae. Oh, that's brilliant. Here he is here. The Chariot. On their own little quest, our fool scurries across a moss-covered twig bridge, weaving through a thick clump of tall grasses. They march forward with determination, trusting their instincts that something exciting lies beyond the bend. Strength. A single green shoot pushes determinedly through the dry, compacted earth, slowly creating space where there was none. The hardened ground resists, yet gradually yields to the stem's persistence, allowing its roots to take hold in the fractured soil. Our spider clings gently to the emerging plant, pausing mid-climb, fully absorbed in watching the small miracle of life unfold before them. Here's our little guy here. The Hermit. Oh, look at him down there. Oh, he's so cute. As the rain begins to fall, our fool seeks shelter beneath a cluster of forest mushrooms, their umbrella-like caps forming a natural cover for our little friend. Tucked safely in this quiet refuge, they settle into the peaceful solitude as the gentle patter of raindrops softly drums above. The Wheel of Fortune. Oh gosh, the artwork is so beautiful. Tucked snugly among the curled fronds of a young fern, the fool rests in the soft, silvery glow of the moonlight. Awakened by the gentle patter of rain, the fern slowly unfurls its delicate spirals, welcoming the refreshing shower and drawing strength and renewal from the nourishing water. He's so cute. Look at him there. Nestled in there. Justice. Perched at the center of a cluster of sycamore seed helicopters suspended above, the fool maintains perfect balance on their chosen perch. The winged seeds hang like delicate miniature scales, forming a natural tribute to Justice's eternal symbol. Below, an intricate web spans the space, a protective reminder that even jumping spiders, which don't weave webs, contribute to and benefit from the balance that unites all living things in ecological harmony. There he is, just up there, right here. I'm not going to read the descriptions for the minors, but I will do all the majors, just so that we can have a good idea of the actual story of our little fool. The Hanged One. Amid the dense, leafy foliage, our little fool pauses. Hovering on a silken thread, they extend 2 legs, dangling in quiet contemplation. In this peaceful moment of suspension, they find space to breathe and carefully consider their next step. Death. A fallen tree branch lies on a damp bed of leaves on the forest floor, its bark softened by time and decay. Yet from the seeming ending, new life has already begun to stir within as a delicate flower gracefully stretches through the decomposing wood. Our fool sits nearby on a soft cushion of leaves and lichen, captivated by this beautiful miracle of life unfolding before them. Just find him here. Here he is. Beautiful. Temperance. Oh my God, he's cute. At the edge of a puddle in a secluded forest clearing, our fool nestles beside a pair of acorn cups. Their front legs gently rest on the water's surface, sending tiny ripples across the surface. When a sudden gust of wind whips the water into a churning fury, they remain calm, unshaken by the chaos swirling around them. I had no idea that it was going to be this good, but gosh, it really is. Okay, the devil. See if I can find him here. It's hiding here somewhere. Sure, it'll pop out at me and then I won't be able to unsee it. Through our spider's eyes, oh, maybe that's why I couldn't see him. Through our spider's eyes, we look at the forest being left behind. What once felt vast and wonderfully alive has tightened into a dense web of tangled vines and sharp thorns. To the fool, the wild tendrils seem to writhe and weave, closing in and closing off the outside world. So this is his view as he looks back at the forest. Then we've got the tower. Beneath a turbulent gray sky, our little spider clings tightly to the last remaining leaf on a barren branch, the final remnant of what was once their tower of security. The relentless wind has stolen the others, casting them away, leaving the lone leaf trembling against his inevitable fate. Hold tight, little spider, because change is already in motion. It's only just beginning. Got him there, hanging on tight to that leaf. The star. Resting on a broad leaf on the soft forest floor, our fool gazes in mesmerized wonder at a beautiful star pendant glinting in the filtered light. Some unknown traveler must have dropped this mysterious treasure, though our little spider has no concept of the world beyond their garden shed realm. The star's gentle gleam fills them with unexpected optimism, reminding them that extraordinary discoveries often arrive when least expected. And the moon. From the forest floor, our fool spots an unusual yet enchanting sight, a paper moon suspended on a delicate string, swaying gently in the breeze above. Captivated, they stretch two tiny legs upward, reaching toward the beautiful crescent that dangles just beyond their reach. But why is the moon hanging by a thread? Perhaps it was left behind by children at play as the forest edges closer to the village. Look at him reaching up there. Oh, the sun. A picturesque village stretches across the distant horizon, its rooftops catching the golden light. In the foreground, a wooden fence winds through lush greenery filled with vibrant sunflowers and swaying grass. The sun beams down from a brilliant sky above, bathing the landscape in warm, welcoming radiance, a sight that fills our small traveler's heart with comfort and joy. We see this peaceful scene through their eyes, which is why they remain hidden from view. Judgment. Our little traveler arrives at an intricately scroll-worked gate guarding the entrance to the village. Verdant trees and a serene scene are revealed through the lattice. This wrought iron barrier marks the threshold between the familiar wilderness and the unknown world beyond. A pivotal moment has come for our fool. It's time for them to step forward and embrace what lies ahead. Here he is up here. And the world. Our little fool has reached their destination at long last. They have finally arrived in the village. Phew, what an extraordinary journey for such tiny legs to have wandered. Now perched atop a weathered wooden sign bearing the village name, they pause to catch their breath. It's been a long and winding road, and though exhaustion weighs, they're filled with pure excitement. After all, the ending. Oh, this is so sweet. The ending is just the beginning. Oh my God, I love it. This is really awesome. Oh, it just like touches my heartstrings. Never thought I'd feel like that about a little spider. Oh, okay. And then we've got the cups. Like I said, I'm not going to read the entire guidebook because we'll be here all day. But we'll just have a look at each card here. We've got our little spider down here. And here's the Two of Cups. He's perched on the edge of that teacup there. The Three. This is him here. Look at those little bunnies. I love Adam's art so much. He is such a talented artist. Absolutely one of my favorite artists out there. Definitely. Four of Cups. We've got him sitting underneath that little, looks like a flower that's kind of tipped over. Got the lights beaming down on either side, but he's not seeing that. The Five of Cups. Oh, this says, in memory of Audrey. Just want to see what she says here. The fool pauses mid-journey on a weathered wooden bench where a small plaque reads, in memory of Audrey. Beneath it sits a tiny paw print, and beside the plaque, Jack is etched with a small heart. Wildflowers gather below, blooming beneath a darkening, rain-heavy sky. And here's our Six of Cups. Looks like a Christmas bauble, a book, some kind of a toy there. The guidebook says this is inside of a gift shop, surrounded by shelves of well-loved trinkets and keepsakes. Oh, I like that. The Seven of Cups. Looks like he's in a sweet shop. He's got some lemon sherbets there and all kinds of choices. And the Eight of Cups, and here he is right here. The Nine, he's sitting here beside this radio. It's old vintage radio, humming a cheerful tune. Nearby, our spider has found the perfect cozy resting spot, soaking up the gentle warmth of the sun. The Ten of Cups. Harmony, gratitude, fulfillment. That old wooden swing. The Page of Cups. This is a small brown parasol waiting on the doorstep. And our little fool sitting above it on his little silken strand, curiously eager to discover what has become of the package they once slipped into the post of the Three of Wands, which we'll see in a little bit. Knight of Cups. I'm just loving the artwork here. I have a few black and white decks, and I like them. They're nice, but there's an impact, I think, when you have just a monochromatic deck like this or any kind of artwork. And I just really love it. I really love it. But I think this is my favorite black and white deck so far. I've got, gosh, I don't know how many I've got, maybe 8 or 10 of them. There's our King of Cups and our little fool sitting down here. Okay, we've got Pentacles and the Ace, and he's sitting on top of this little drawer of a cash register. There's a coin in here, little Ace of Pentacle in the drawer. Two of Pentacles. So this is set in a farmer's market with a set of scales, both sides laden with fruit. Our little spider up here. And the Three of Pentacles, see him here? Oh, he's cute. He's looking thoughtfully over an unfinished crossword puzzle, pen in hand, surrounded by unanswered clues. The grid stretches far beyond, revealing how ambitious the puzzle truly is. This is great. This is like a storybook. It really is a proper story, which is winding its way through the entire deck. Love this. Four of Pentacles, that's great. And we've got the Five. Outside a quiet stone church, autumn leaves swirling in the restless wind. Here's our little spider here. Well, get him right there. And the Six of Pentacles, a little donation tray. You know, you can tell that Stephanie has spent years thinking about this deck, thinking about the story of this little spider, this little fool. This is so obviously a passion project. Eight of Pentacles. And Adam brings Stephanie's dream to life here with the artwork. It's just phenomenal. Nine of Pentacles. Here's our little fool here. Ten of Pentacles looks like inside a bank. What are they called? I'm having a complete brain fart right now. Security boxes, you know what I'm talking about, in the banks. Safety deposit box, that's what it is, and he's sitting inside. I thought it was the word safety, but my brain just was not. It wasn't quite connecting it. Here we've got the Page of Pentacles. Oh, look at him behind the glasses, and he looks all huge. Oh, he's so cute. Oh my God. My daughter has got a little jumping spider that lives outside of her door. Been there for years. Knight of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. I love the adding machine. Like, this is just brilliant. Really brilliant. And the King. What is this thing? On a lush green grass of a golf course. That's what it is. It's a golf tee. The Fool sits regally atop a wooden tee as if the tiny spike were a grand throne. Love that. And we've got the Swords, and this is the Ace. In a bookstore, cozy little bookstore. The Two of Swords. And here he is in a rainstorm, and he's by one of those storm grates. And she says, as the heavy downpour intensifies, our Fool remains frozen in uncertainty, torn between the shelter that the tunnel might offer and their fear of venturing into such an unknown shadowy space. The weight of this crucial decision holds them still, unable to move forward. God, this is perfect. This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. I love this. I love this deck. I didn't think I was going to love it this much. I was excited about it, but I didn't think I was going to love it. I love it. Oh, Three of Swords. We've got our little Fool sitting shivering here atop a weathered fence post. You see him here. Oh, it's cold. Four of Swords. Having a rest. After this ordeal that they've gone through, this heartbreak, now taking time to recover, to rest, to recuperate. Five of Swords. This says, beneath a dark, brooding, storm-filled sky, our would-be fearsome Fool stands triumphantly atop a fallen child's toy, a small robot lying defeated on its side, as if vanquished by our tiny spider. Despite the valiant attempts to strike an intimidating pose, the Fool's menace falls charmingly short, as they are just too endearing. Oh, Stephanie's storytelling as well is just brilliant. This is awesome. Six of Swords. This old boot here. Look at that. Well-worn walking boots. I cannot wait to get the finished deck. I think this may end up being one of my favorite decks. We've got a 7 here. This card speaks of sneaky behavior, and who better to illustrate that than our mischievous little Fool who's attempting to scuttle off with a glittering gemstone from the village jeweler's cluttered workbench. It offers plenty of spaces to hide among the tools and sparkling trinkets. Though our cunning spider believes they found the perfect place to conceal the stolen treasure, we can see them quite clearly in the very act of their crime. Naughty little spider. Oh, 8 of Swords. Oh my God, this is so perfect. Have you ever done that? Like, I mean, I know I've been guilty of it a few times. Like, there's a spider and you're like, oh my God, there's a spider. You grab a glass and put the glass on top of the spider. And, you know, maybe slide some paper underneath it. And then you can take it outside and release it, or, you know, whatever. But here he is, and he's inside this glass, and he thinks he's trapped. He thinks he's trapped. But the glass is actually sitting, it's not fully on this table, so he could get out if he wanted to. He just needs to, you know, kind of turn the other way, look the other direction, and see that this trap is not truly imprisoning him. And the Nine of Swords. Oh gosh. This must be a scary experience for our little spider here. Look at him down here. Here he is. He's in this place filled with, says it's a curiosity shop with little jars and stuff filled with preserved specimens of butterflies and butterfly wings, fragments of beauty trapped in a quiet yet haunting scene. A waking nightmare that leaves our poor fool trembling with unease, unable to find peace or rest in such a place. Ten of Swords. Our little fool looking up at the ragged remnants of a spider's web, now hanging in tattered silken shreds from the corner of a window. Through the glass, an ominous gray sky looms, but just beyond, a faint glimmer of sunlight breaks through, offering the faintest hint of hope amidst the ruin. Incredible. Just incredible. Page of Swords, old card catalog. Younger people won't remember this. You know, they won't have experienced it, but I remember going into the school library and card catalogs and searching for your, oh my God, brings back some memories. Oh, sure does. Knight of Swords. In a blacksmith's workshop. The Queen. Queen of Swords. And this says, our fool sits poised on a narrow wooden ledge, the large chalkboard behind them, forming an impressive backdrop to their makeshift throne. Their tiny crown rests on a nearby duster, a little nod to their regal standing. Written across the desk surface in careful flowing cursive is the word Queen, elegantly underlined by a simple yet precise sketch of a slender sword. When I first looked at this, I saw a cigarette and smoke. I'm glad that's not what it is. But it makes sense now. Chalk, and here's an eraser over there. Makes perfect sense. Sometimes you've got to look a little deeper than the surface, because there could be, you know, chances are there's going to be more there than what you first think. And that's the King of Swords. Looks like he's sitting on some kind of a legal document. Contract. And we got the wands. Here he is here. Look at him next to the paintbrushes and the little palette with fresh paint on it. Well, it might not be fresh. It might be drying a bit. Love that. Two of Wands. Here he is right here. It's fun just finding him. That's really cool. And this says, in a lively bustle of a village railway station, the fuel dangles excitedly from their spidery thread, peering intently at the large departure board mounted on the wall below. Are they checking departures or arrivals? It's hard to tell. But either way, something new is definitely stirring on the horizon. That's fantastic. Perfect 2 of Wands. 3 of Wands. Looks like in a post office. Service counter, it says. 4 of Wands. And she says, our fool in this card has found themselves a welcome guest at a joyous celebration. And here he is, hiding under the place card there. The 5 of Wands. I've had to lock my kittens out of the room today because I never would have been able to record this. They're not happy about it. They're banging at the door. There he is on a chessboard. 6 of Wands. Oh, he's on the dart. In a cozy village pub, perching proudly atop a dart lodged squarely in the bullseye. It's a triumphant moment for our little spider, well and truly earned, as they bask in the sweet recognition that they so rightly deserve. And yes, we're fully embracing the delightful spider wins at dart scenario, even if it's a bit of a stretch. Oh, that's great. I love Stephanie's sense of humor. Okay, got the 7 of Wands. Oh, bless him. The fool sits unflinchingly on the cold stone floor. The light above illuminates their determined stare and stance. They face us squarely with unwavering resolve as the dark shadows of 7 Wands stretch ominously overhead. Undaunted, our brave little spider stands its ground, refusing to back down. Oh. 8 of Wands. Our fool perches steadily on a rock amid a swiftly flowing stream, fixated on the 8 twigs racing past on the rapid current. All around, stone emerges from the churning water like stepping stones, offering a natural pathway forward should they choose to follow. 9 of Wands, all on a doctor's stethoscope. Quiet sanctuary at the village doctor's office. The fool sits patiently on his stethoscope, waiting to be examined. There's so much detail. It's amazing. 10 of Wands. So this is a village allotment. So people back in North America, Canada, and the US may not get this, but here in the UK, a lot of people have what are called allotments. So it's a place that you can go and you can plant, some vegetables or whatever, and it's sort of a community area. Sometimes they're free, and sometimes you pay like rent for the allotment, and then you can go and tend your little garden, because not every home here has space for a garden, like a vegetable garden. And the page, cluttered artist drawing table. Oh, fool sits thoughtfully on a sheet of paper, surrounded by scattered pens and pencils. Sketched across the page is the outline of a beautiful salamander. Something about this particular drawing has captured the spider's intense curiosity. Perhaps they've just stumbled upon an unexpected new passion for drawing, if you can believe it. Oh, I like that a lot. Oh my gosh, this is just awesome. Knight of Wands, look at this old toy train here. Inside a hobby shop. Messy work table scattered with paintbrushes and a pot of glue. At its center sits a beautiful detailed model train car, surrounded by haphazardly placed sections of miniature railway tracks. Our fool perches proudly on the locomotive's roof, convinced they're riding aboard a real train, ready for adventure. Along the car's side, a small painted logo depicts a gallant knight in a shining helmet. Oh, I love this. Queen of Wands. And this is in the village ironmonger's shop. Our fool has claimed a regal position atop a sealed paint tin. Its smooth lid serving as the perfect little throne. Sunflower yellow. That's awesome. Oh my God. The details are just... Stephanie is she's a really gifted creator. And with Adam's talent and ability to take her vision and bring it to life in his heart, it's just a combination that can't be beaten. Incredible. King of Wands, sitting on a baton, conductor's baton, on top of a sheet of music. And here we've got the final oracle cards. Let me just flip back to the beginning here, and so I can read these to you. So here we've got the lucky spider. Lucky spider is a welcome sign. Its appearance speaks of reassurance rather than certainty. It's a reminder that even when the path ahead feels unclear, good things are still finding their way towards you. This card carries comfort and hope, offering a gentle nudge to trust that brighter moments lie ahead, even if they aren't visible just yet. And then we've got the final cards are the Page, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. So these are the 4 royals. And she said these are not tied to any one suit. Let me just zoom that out a little bit. These are not tied to any one suit. They embody the shared energies of the court, learning, doing, caring, and leading. So learning, doing, caring, and leading. You might draw a royal before a reading to set its tone. The Page asks you to notice what's beginning. The Knight encourages movement and commitment. The Queen invites you to tend and nurture. And the King calls for clarity and decision. She said these may also be used as gentle clarifiers, lending their perspective when a reading feels uncertain. Oh, God. Okay, so this is the Winding Tarot by Stephanie Burrows from Three Trees Tarot. I'll give these a quick shuffle, but this is not going to in any way be indicative of what it's really going to be like, because these aren't laminated. They are 400 GSM, so they are a slightly thicker card. And she does that so that they're going to last a lifetime. So, and even then, they're not bad to shuffle at all. So, even with my arthritic hands. Okay, so there we've got the Winding Tarot. I hope that you've enjoyed a quick look at this upcoming deck, which, as I said, is going to be going on pre-order about a week from today, I think, on the 2nd of March. And she'll have early bird pricing throughout the month of March, and then the prices will go up a bit after that. I can't wait to get the finished deck in my hands. I'm so excited about this. And of course, I'd like to thank Stephanie so much from Three Trees Tarot for sending me a copy of this prototype deck so that I can share it with you. I hope that you've enjoyed having a look at this today. And when the final deck comes in, I'll be excited to share it with you. Thank you again for joining me. Until next time, may love and laughter light your days. Bye for now.